Hi Leo, welcome to August. This is Teresa from tarotbyt.com, and I'm getting ready to do your love taroscope for August. And before I do that, I want to bring in some good energy and create some sacred space around this reading. Okay, and I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for commenting, and for those who have ordered readings, thank you for your support. So this month we have a full moon eclipse in Aquarius, and that's happening in your 7th house. That's on August 7th. And a new moon eclipse in Leo, your sign, on August 21st. So new beginnings. The new moon is actually it's falling in your 1st house if you are a Leo or if you have Leo rising. And it's time for you to shine your light in the world. This moon is conjunct Mars. It's conjunct the North Node. It's trine Uranus, or Uranus, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So a lot of exciting things could be happening with this. New moons are great for new beginnings, and an eclipse is even more powerful. So this can be in effect a month before the eclipse, a month after the eclipse, 6 months to a year, depending on how it aspects your chart. So it's setting up, I think it's kind of like an opening for all of us, but especially you, Leo, since it's in your sign, to find your path, to find your karmic path, and to allow your true self, to express yourself, allow yourself to shine and express your true nature. So it's time to strut your stuff and gain recognition for who you are, for the light, the special light that you bring into the world. And the full moon, which happens before that, it's a time of clearing out. It's a time of, and it's not really a bad moon either. It's aspecting Jupiter in a good way. So it's really a time of expansion, a time of finishing things up, clearing up old business, getting rid of whatever no longer serves you. You know, clear the decks, get ready for a new beginning. Get ready to broaden your horizons. Get ready to explore new frontiers. You know, when one thing ends, another thing begins. So it looks good, Leo. Just, you know, eclipses tend to shake things up. They shake us out of our comfort zone. And also Mercury is going retrograde middle of the month, August 12th till about September 5th, when it starts to go direct. So while it's a good time, like the eclipses are really saying, you know, you got to shake things up and you have to move forward. Don't be afraid to take a stand or move forward on your path. But with Mercury retrograde, you may want to tweak your plans a little bit before you actually launch anything. It's better to launch something when Mercury goes direct. But you can definitely start getting all your ducks in a row. Going over, if you have something planned that you want to launch or begin, you know, make sure you've got everything checked out when Mercury retrogrades. You know, you may want to go over things and make sure you've got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted and so forth. And if you have to sign any contracts, see if you can postpone them till mid-September, or at least read all the fine print. Don't just jump into something without checking all the details. That's what Mercury retrograde. And also make sure when you're communicating, because Mercury rules communication, make sure that you're being understood, because Mercury can cause misunderstandings, you know, missed connections. You call someone, they don't get your message, the phone doesn't ring, the message doesn't get recorded. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy things, especially since Uranus is going to be active at this new moon. So Uranus rules, you know, electronics and energy, and that kind of energy. So just check into everything carefully and do all your research, do all your preparations, and then move forward. I would think, because of this Mercury retrograde, that the events of the eclipse may not really be visible until the month later. You know, usually it can happen a month before, it can happen on the eclipse, it can happen a month later. I'm thinking my bets are on a month later because of all this retrograde energy that we're going through at this time. But anyway, let's see what's going on in your chart or your tarot cards. See how it, well, you know, it really is amazing how sometimes the cards really match the astrology. They kind of work together. Even though they're two different systems, a lot of times I find that the message is the same. It's just synchronicity. It's the way everything is connected. Okay, so what does Leo need to know about love and relationships for the month of August? What's coming up for Leo? Let us see. Especially with, you know, the moon in Aquarius, the eclipses fall across your 1st and 7th house axis. So some truths may come out at the full moon, or some realizations. You're going to realize what you need to do, what you need to let go of, how you need to move forward. So, King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, the Tower, the Hermit, the High Priestess, the Lovers, the Empress. Oh my God, you've got almost all arcana. Mate, the Hangman, 6 of Cups, and the King of Wands. You've got almost all major arcana in this reading. Powerful stuff. Okay, so you're getting powerful messages from the universe. The King of Swords. The King of Swords represents someone who is very unemotional, who looks dispassionately at situations and tries to make decisions based on logic rather than emotion. So this could be you trying to figure it out. You know, you have decisions to make in August, especially about relationships. You may have to make some choices. And you want to make those decisions based on what's real, not what you want to be true, based on what is true. So go by the facts when you're trying to decide, you know, when you're weighing things. Because the King of Swords can sometimes come across as harsh or unemotional. He has a toughness to him. And so you could be exhibiting maybe a self-protective exterior that's a little bit harsh. And you need to maybe drop your guard a little bit. You know, sometimes we do that when we've been through a lot in life. We just want to keep people at a distance. But then you give the vibe that you're not interested in anyone, that you don't want anyone to come close to you. So you don't want to be too cold. You want to be warm. Because the nature of Leo is to be warm and to be generous and to be, you know, have fun and to be goofy. Not so, you know, austere as this King of Swords seems to indicate. This is that kind of energy. So you might be giving off this vibe in August. You know, I want to be taken seriously. I want to be, you know, this militant type person. And, you know, come on, let's go. Everybody, you know. Show your compassionate side. Show your fun side. Show your the warm Leo side. And you'll get further with that approach. You have the Queen of Pentacles crossing you. So you could be dealing with an earth sign during August, either in a romantic situation or in a business partnership. The Queen of Pentacles could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Recently, you may have had some kind of shakeup. You've got this Tower in the past. So it's possible that certain truths surfaced and you were forced to break down and rebuild in some area of your life. So it could be a relationship that kind of either fell apart suddenly because you saw the truth, or if it's a job, you know, it could have been like you just needed to change jobs, or some aspect of your life just you could not go along living in that environment anymore. You couldn't put up with it anymore. The Tower is like truth coming out, shocking. Sometimes it can be shocking. Sometimes it could be a blow to your ego. The Tower can represent a blow to your ego when you think, you know, you're all this, and then the world shows you, no, you're not all that. And so you become humbled. This can be a humbling experience. where you suddenly see the truth in either relation. So if you've been, you know, idealizing something or someone, then you suddenly see the truth. Now you have to kind of reconfigure. It's kind of like the GPS, recalculating, you know. And you have to take your life along a more realistic plan because something is just not working out. So you may have made some major changes recently because something didn't work out the way you had planned. And now you have to follow a different path. And that's going to involve some choices. The Hermit in your recent past, you know, you might, because of this Tower experience, you might have been feeling, doing some soul searching. Like, you know, what am I doing? Where should I be? What should I be doing? What's my life's path? What's my goal? What kind of relationship is right for me? If a relationship ended, you know, maybe you're thinking, okay, so this didn't work out. What do I need? What type of relationship should I look for? Or if it's a job situation, you know, if this is not right, what is right? So you're doing a lot of soul searching, you have been, and you might be going to people for advice, people that you trust and value, people whose opinion you value. The Hermit can be a lonely card. You might be feeling kind of lonely, so especially if you've broken a relationship or if you've cut ties with certain people, you might be feeling a little bit lonely or lost, but that's not going to be forever because you actually are moving towards something better. The High Priestess in the near future, that is a card that on the one hand it says things are happening behind the scenes that you can't foresee, so there could be a positive outcome in spite of what you went through with the Tower. The end result could still be favorable. You just had to go through this shakeup. Because what the Tower takes away, it usually takes away things that you don't need. So if something ends, don't panic about it. Just be glad and let it go. Because it usually means that you were wasting your time on something or someone that wasn't worth it. And that you need to begin again in a better direction. So the Tower is really your friend. People, you know, see the Tower and they say, oh my God, the Tower. But I think it's your friend if you can deal with it, if you don't have a problem with change. If you can roll with the punches, the Tower will lead you on a better shore, to a better shore. It's kind of like a big tidal wave that comes and wipes away whatever you don't need, and then it pushes you towards something you do need. So, and this is coming in the future. You have here the Lovers. So you're trying to make a choice. You're trying to decide. You might be choosing between two relationships, or you might be choosing two career paths, two life paths. Whatever it is, the Lovers is usually some kind of triangular situation where you're trying to choose between two things. And it's a very important choice because it's going to indicate the path that your life is going to follow from that moment of the choice. Once you make this decision, you can't really, it's going to be harder to go back. It's almost like you make the decision, especially with these eclipses coming. Once you make the choice, something is eclipsed from your life and you can't go back. You have to just follow the path now. So choose wisely. And that the High Priestess also recommends that you trust your intuition. It's all about listening to that inner voice, the inner guide. Instead of, I mean, yeah, it's good to ask other people's opinion, but really you have to follow your inner guide. What feels right to you? Take some time out to meditate. That's another thing that the High Priestess represents. Meditation. Taking time out, quiet your mind, think about what's really right. Ask yourself, what do I need? Where do I go? What do I choose? And that voice, that little voice that you hear within, that's going to lead you in the right direction. Follow that voice, and you'll be able to make a choice. The Empress, this is a card of creativity and harvest. So if you're working on a creative project, this promises success and abundance, but it's in your negative thinking sector, so you might be blocking it with doubt, self-doubt, you know, the negative self-talk that we all do. Like, oh, I'm not good, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I can't do this, or, you know, just silence that voice. You don't want to hear that voice. Focus on the voice that says, yeah, you go girl, you can do it, or you go boy, you can get there. Because Leo's, you know, you're royal. take, show that royal nature, that benevolent king. You want to be the benevolent king or queen in August. You don't want to be, the despot, the tyrant, or the dictator. You want to be the queen of abundance, the king of abundance, And so if you project that energy, the universe will send that back to you. So with the lovers, this could also be that you want to have a relationship, that you want to have family, you want to have children, you just want, this is the card of the mother, the great mother. Maybe you're working on something that's like your baby. It could be an actual child that you're concerned with, but it could also be a project that you feel you have to nurture, and it's at the beginning stages, and you just gave birth to it, and you have to feed it and nurture it. So you can't expect overnight success, and just because you're not having overnight success doesn't mean the whole thing's a failure. It just means that you have to nurture it, and you have to be patient, and especially since you have the Hangman here. The Hangman is a card of patience. The Hangman is a card of giving something up. This is in your environment. So you're giving something up for something better. But it involves sacrifice, because you are walking away from people and places and things that you're not really unhappy with. It's just that you've got to follow this path, and you have to leave some people behind. So there's a little bit of a sacrifice, or a feeling of, I really didn't want to leave this, but I have to, because I know I'm moving on to something better. And you are, because here's the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups represents moving on to a situation of greater harmony. It also means that you're going to be connecting with people from the past. So you may be either moving back to an area you once knew, or connecting with friends or lovers from the past. But you're also going to be making new friends as well. This Six of Cups is healing from the past, learning from past experiences, and working to make the future better. The future is going to be, because you're learning your lessons. Whatever you went through in the tower, whatever that shakeup was in your past, it's influenced your life in a major way, and it's influencing your decisions toward the future. So you don't want to make the same mistakes. You don't want to deal with this again, but you do want to, so you're going to make wiser decisions, and that's why you have to do a lot of thinking in August, so that you choose wisely. There's a lot of choices coming up in the cards for a lot of different signs. So I feel like this is a critical time. It's kind of a time of where we're all kind of faced with life path choices, and what direction do we need to go in different areas of our life, depending on where the eclipse falls. For you, it's mostly relationships and partnerships, and that could be romantic, serious partnerships like marriage. If you're in, do I take this relationship to the next level? Do I get married? Or do I walk away? And also it could be business partnerships as well. Is this person a good business partner? Do I commit to this relationship? Do I want to, formulate something solid and stable and, long-term with this person? So you could be thinking of that also. It could be a career decision, if you're going into business with someone, or if you're working on a project with someone and you need to choose a partner. That could be up in the works as well. And then the outcome is the King of Wands, which is a fire sign. So you could be dealing with earth and fire and even air. The King of Swords, you could be dealing with some air signs too. Air, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn with the Pentacles, and with the King of Wands, you could be dealing with your own fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. The King of Wands represents a mentor, or a good businessman. He's a person who has a presence and is very honest and outspoken, could be a little bossy. So this could be someone that you're dealing with, or it could just mean that you need to take leadership of your life in August. The King of Wands, this could be the outcome for you, that you need to take charge of your life. You need to be more outspoken. Maybe not necessarily bossy, but you need to create a presence. You need to not be afraid to, and usually Leos are not, except for some of the shy ones. Most Leos are okay with being in the spotlight, being in the limelight. But there are some Leos that are kind of quiet, and they like they're afraid to step into the spotlight. So if that's you, you need to, show your royalty in August. Be the leader that you have the capacity for leadership. All Leos and all fire signs actually are great leaders, especially Leo. Leo is like the king of the zodiac, So show that royal nature in August. You are moving away from whatever this was. This is in the past, the Tower. So whatever mistakes you made in the past, let it go. That's what this full moon is for. It's for tying up loose ends, having, closure, some type of closure, and just moving on. Say, okay, maybe I made some mistakes. Nobody's, we're all human. But I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to move on. So whether it was a relationship that was a bad decision or a bad choice, whether it was some kind of career move or a project that didn't work out as you planned, you're healing from this, and you are making better choices in the future, and you are moving toward a better path. But you may have to have patience with the Hangman. You may have to see things, people are seeing you as maybe being a little reckless, or they don't understand you. You're feeling that the people, because the Hangman is hanging upside down. He's viewing the world from a different perspective. And so maybe your perspective is different than the average person. And so you may feel misunderstood. You may feel that people just don't get you. And that's okay. Not everybody can get you. Sometimes, you could be having thoughts that are very visionary, and the world isn't ready for your message or your way of thinking yet. But they will be down the road. You just have to give people a chance to catch up. So if your consciousness is on a different level than the average person, that doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means that you're ahead of your time. And the time, you have to just give it time. So if you're in a relationship, I feel like that you could be thinking about maybe making a commitment. If you have no one, you might be reconnecting with someone from the past. In any case, you are moving ahead. You're moving into something better. So, and if you're not concerned with love at all and you're thinking about career, just give it time. Just don't rush into anything, especially with Mercury retrograde. If you're thinking about taking a new job or moving to a new location, or prepare, research, do all your work in August, but don't be prepared to move until September, because with Mercury retrograde and with these eclipses, you just don't know what could happen. There could be some last-minute developments that maybe would change your. If you knew ahead of time what they were, you may make different decisions. So just consider everything. Take all the information down. Give it a lot of thought. Take your time deciding. And after the eclipses speak and after Mercury goes direct, you'll have what you need to move forward. And you are going to be moving toward greater harmony. So I'm not worried about you. The Tower's in the past. You're on a new path. You've wiped the slate clean. Just rebuild. You're in the rebuilding mode now. And you have all the stars are with you. You've got all these planets in Leo. Sun, Moon, Mars, North Node. And it's trining. The Moon is trining Uranus. So with Uranus, you never know. Anything could happen. But one thing I could say is you're probably you're on the edge of a new, it's like you're on the cutting edge of something, a new stage in your life that's very different than anything you've experienced in the past. And Mars is giving you that energy to go forward. And the North Node is pointing the direction. The North Node is pointing toward your karmic path, your soul path. What is it that you came here to do? What is your life purpose? This new moon is going to show you. The new moon, the solar eclipse, is going to show you what direction to go in. So just keep your eyes open. Take your time making decisions. And know that you're moving in a positive direction. So that's my forecast for August, Leo. I wish you luck, and I wish you love and much success. And I hope this reading was a help to you. I'll talk to you again in September. Okay, bye now.